Ham and the Attic Ghost, as told by James Gay Jones in Haunted Valley and More Folktales of Appalachia. On the campus of Shepherd College in Shepherdstown, there is a building which, according to tradition, was once the abode of a ghost. Presently known as the Annex, it is a log structure covered with weatherboarding and situated on High Street between King and Princess Streets. For a number of years following its acquisition by Shepherd College in 1917, it was known as the Home Economics Cottage. It occupies the site of Old Fort Shepherd, which was erected by Captain Thomas Shepherd in the 1750s during the French and Indian War. Few passers-by of this location are aware of its long and interesting history, and fewer yet are they who have heard of the 7 annual visitations there of George Yontz's ghost. At one time, this house was the dwelling place of George Yontz, who was a cobbler by trade. He had no family, and his only companion was a cat named Ham. George was a quiet and friendly person, and seemed to get along well with everyone in his community. Therefore, it came as a profound shock to the people of Shepherdstown when it was reported that he had been found dead in his house on December 4th, 1910. Although it appeared he had been murdered, no one was ever apprehended for the crime. Sometime after Yontz's death, Miss Jeanette Entler moved into this house, and since Ham, the cat, was still there, she allowed him to continue to live there. He was a large cat, totally black, and very friendly towards Miss Entler. Because of her lonely situation, she became very fond of the cat, and found comfort in his presence about the premises. However, on the first anniversary of Yontz's death, Ham grew restless, and ran from room to room, as if looking for something. Finally, he went to the door which led to the half-story upstairs, and scratched furiously. When Miss Entler opened the stair door, Ham bounded up the stairs and immediately engaged in a terrifying struggle with some mysterious adversary. The commotion so disturbed Miss Entler, she ran from one room to another, wringing her hands and screaming. She was so frightened she would have fled from the house, but it was pitch dark outside, and she was more afraid of the dark than of the fiendish fighting going on upstairs. Then, abruptly, the fight ended, and Ham returned downstairs with only ruffled fur to show for the encounter. For another year, Ham lived a normal cat's life. Then, when the anniversary of Yontz's death came again, he renewed his struggle with the ghost in the attic. It was not until the 4th encounter took place that Miss Entler realized it was on the anniversary of the murder. Otherwise, she would have made plans to be elsewhere when it had occurred. However, after experiencing it 4 times without being harmed, her dread of the event became less each time. For 3 years more, Ham observed his ritualistic struggle in the attic, despite the growing burden of his age. After Shepherd College acquired this property in 1917, Miss Entler and Ham moved out, and the strange noises were no longer heard there. Whether it was due to the departure of Ham, or, as one wag put it, that Yontz's wraith despaired of competing with fraternity initiations, the real reason for its moving out may never be known.